Hmm. And there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are tuning in from. This is San Francisco International, and I was supposed to do a Delta flight for the VA, and then I discovered at the last moment don't have a livery, so there goes that plan, but I'm going to still do the flight. So you're welcome to join me, leave your comments, talk to me, let's have a nice discussion, ask your questions, do it. Makes you happy tonight, and let's see how we do this flight together. Good evening, Andileg. Nice to see you on stream again. I know it's a little bit late for us guys this side, but rather late than never, eh? Tell her to watch with you. Give her some education and some aviation culture or something, you know. Be a good salesman tonight. But listen, buddy, if you need to run, you're welcome. I won't hold it against you if she gives you too much trouble. I know those ladies. I've been married 20 years, been together 25. I know it could be difficult sometimes, so do what you need to do, eh? Okay, that's cool. Dale, thank you very much for the compromise. I'm trying to figure out my transition here because not one of these little waypoints are actually part of my flight. I don't see them at all. Ah, got one, got one. So I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say it's that one. We're going to double check it anyway, so not to worry. I quickly muted the sound because I received a call this time of night. It's not a joke, so I just ignored that. Now, BTG, that's definitely part of the plan. Greek as well. Okay, again, I'm going to take a stab in the dark because both that little waypoint is in the plan and it's a little bit further than that one. That's Battleground, Bravo Tango Golf. I'm not sure. I'm not used to the American way of doing things, so I'm just going to take a stab in the dark. Let's go for the first one. And let's go look for ILS 34 right. And this one was easy, very self-explanatory on the chart, so we grab that one now. Let's go have a look. The proof is in the pudding. Hey, what's this? Try again. JAYKK, that's right. Let's go back to the chart. I suppose, but we'll have to match it with the flight level and delay because there's certain requirements. It seems a different one of these little waypoints, so we'll have to take all these things into account. Are we at JAYKK and okay, that's perfect. Then we've got a discontinuity, alright, and then it starts with JAYKK again. RBL 20. So this is actually part of the flight plan, which means we need to go take that one and overwrite that one. Alright, so let's try again, step through. So we're going that one, there's JAYKK, RBL, LMT. Right, where's the next chart? I never knew it was so difficult to just fly this route. I looked at it once, it was like, nah, maybe this is easy, let's do it. LMT, and then, well, that's correct, so that's also easy to fix. Come on. Battleground, I'm gonna remember that one. Alright, then we turn in. Yeah, from here on it's easy. This was interesting. I suppose in the real world ATC will tell you to go direct anyway, and you won't have to fly each and every one of the waypoints, so we're gonna improvise. This is a nice and high cost index. Happy with that. And let's see, going to do flight level 340. Expected winds 271 at 32. And a little number 1. Right, D-rate to take off 2. We're going to leave a nice and steady climb. Not gonna rush it. We've got a long way to go. And what's our assumed temperature? 39. Ow. 39. I'm gonna bump it up a little bit. How long is this runway? Right, so either we skipped an execute somewhere, which I did not see now, it seems all fine, or we're not on a proper intercept route. Something somewhere is not perfect, so we'll take it as it comes then. It might be that it doesn't like that initial turn there. I don't know. That's not going to stop us, so we'll go for a heading select takeoff and make sure once we reach that point that we change to a VNAV operation. So let's get our weather set up.
Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar Airport information Golf 1856 Zulu weather wind 086 at 3 visibility 10 sky condition few clouds at 17,000 ceiling 20,000 broken temperature 13 dew point 7 altimeter 3030 advise on initial contact you have information Golf Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar Airport information Golf 1856 Zulu weather wind 086 at 3 visibility 10 sky condition few clouds at 17,000 ceiling 20,000 broken temperature 13 dew point 7 altimeter 3030 advise on.
Yeah, Andile, I find that it happens a lot in the US for some reason. I am not exactly sure why it happens, because I can fly anywhere else in the world and I can activate LNAV, VNAV. I know when it's you know, crystal clear according to the chart when the actual SID starts off airport, you know, a couple of miles away from the airport. Then it's natural you need to use your heading select, because you will be getting vectors in the real world anyway. In terms of this one, whatever it is, the difference between allowing the LNAV to arm and not arm is very subtle. I cannot see it. I'm not sure. It's something that I'm not seeing. There's definitely a rule or something that is telling it not to do that, but it's not something that I'm gonna even worry about at this point in time. It's too late. I just want to fly, so we'll worry about that later. And like you say, we'll just activate it after 400 feet anyway, so we are not even worried. It just gives us a little bit more to do, I suppose, you know. All this automation takes a lot of the fun out of just flying this aircraft by hand, and it's quite nice to fly by hand anyway. Right, so let me just close all the charts and get everything back into position where I need them. And then we can look at the next phase, because we're basically done with our FMC now, and we need to get our APU going and change over. Well, before we do that, let's do our beta pushback.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright, so after this APU is running, we'll change our flight mode and send the packers packing. This is Mr. X scenery, totally free. Can't believe it, it's so lovely. Really nice. He did a lot of work all over the place. If you look at all the airports that is included in this package, it's very nice. City scenery, I think, is also there. There was talk about cable cars or something, and probably the bridge and Alcatraz. I'm not sure. We'll see when we fly over there. But this is highly recommended if you guys are looking for San Francisco scenery. Look for Mr. X. Sentinel, thank you for popping in. It's a great pleasure to have you here. That's fine, my friend. You enjoy your party.
Guys, the leader's on board.
Captain Hatfield, the fastest 3,000 time with your exit all passengers. Take your seat out this time and please fasten your seatbelt.
on your way momentarily. I want to thank you so much for your
Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until turn items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Alright, let's call our pushback and get going.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Flight attendants, prepare for departure, cross check and all call, thank you.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Boarding door has been closed. Once again, all passengers remain seated at this time. Please double check the security of your seatbelt. All electronic devices will need to be turned off and put away at this time. This doesn't mean all cellular phone situations. Flight attendants, please open your doors for departure and contact.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Yeah, I can highly recommend it. If your PC can handle the scenery, you must get it. I'm getting really good frame rates here, so I can't complain.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Go. Get the generators on the bus. Setting up for flaps 5 again, waiting for the green light in a moment. Right, so we don't have far to taxi, we're just going to basically go on to taxiway Bravo and go down to Mike. That should be enough for us.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
And there's definitely ground radar, so we're going to flip over that switch for us on the transponder and wait for the pin. Let's check flaps 5 green light, fantastic, so that's set. Thank you very much, goodbye. Andile, before I forget, when we're in the air, I'm going to obviously try and remember this. I want to give you a link to Mr. X's library and everything. On the org, he's got under his name a whole list of scenery. I gave it to somebody the other day as well. This oak makes a really good scenery, and I can highly recommend all of them that's on there. So give me a moment and I'll get back to you on that one. Right, everything is set.
The side of the vest. There is also a light that will illuminate upon contact with water.
And we must now turn off. We'll take the next one. Happens when you want to go sightseeing instead of sticking in the cockpit. Missed the turn off there. We were right on it. I didn't realize we pushed back that far, so anyway. Yep. Right, and the next turn is going to be for the runway, so let's tell these people to get ready.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Thank you, you too.
Approach at 01 left.
Weather radar, terrain radar, we know the transponder is on, just double checking and get the lights going. We don't need that one, that is just for the trigger for the announcement.
Approaching 01 left. On runway 01 left.
Toga. Perfect.
80 knots.
Cross check. So let's take it by hand a little bit. Let's get this waypoint done and dusted, and then we switch over. That should do it. Righto, Command A, and neutralize that bump on the gear, and auto brakes off. Bye bye San Francisco. Man, the city looks good from here. Yeah, Andile, this is pretty good scenery, eh? Look at that city. And there's the rock down there. It looks like he did some nice work there too. Ah, come on. That's a bit sensitive. There's our bridge. Very nice indeed. You can definitely see that we are taking it very easy in this climb, exactly as we programmed it in the FMC, not in a hurry at all. It's actually nice, relaxing for a change.
We recommend that you keep your seatbelt loosely fastened in case of any unexpected turbulence. We have an excellent team on board today, and we are all happy to offer any assistance you may require throughout the flight. Our in-flight entertainment has begun.
Altimeter setting.
Nice clouds, eh? Andile, the transition to US is 18,000 foot. It's funny, they are high. And then I helped somebody in the week to get his head around the fact that in Europe and South Africa and a couple of other places we've got varying altitudes for transition altitude. They think we are funny. It's weird for them to have different TAs. But getting some screenshots, I put some wallpaper out of this for the PC. Oh, I think I'm going to get some nice wallpaper screenshots out of that bunch I just took. I just love all the clouds and everything in the background. It's just amazing.
1,000 to go.
Hello Flavio, nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, Italy is a long way away, but welcome. Thank you. Check this transition, eh? It looks like there's like a cold front or something we're flying out of. And then it's open. Very nice. And there we are at the cruise altitude 340.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, we've leveled off now at our cruising altitude. We're going to go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt sign. I'd like to kindly ask if you are staying in your seats to keep those seatbelts comfortably fastened for your safety. Onboard computer showing an on-time arrival, no ATC delays either. We're going to stay quiet up here, have you enjoy the flight and the service. Once again, welcome aboard.
Right, so that is our flight and we're at cruise altitude. And the nice thing, the funny thing actually for me, but the nice thing is those dotted lines, that is the actual standard terminal arrival that we're going to fly. So that's a long one. Flavio, that's cool. As long as you get to see something and learn something, I'm happy. I would like to try and incorporate this flight, you know, a later flight on a Saturday into the channel. If I can get this on schedule, I'll be very happy, because the morning flight, you know, caters for a certain segment of the Earth in terms of, you know, the time zones, and this one is more catered towards the US. And if I can do 2 on a Saturday, I'll be very happy. And then there's obviously going to be more videos and more content and things. I haven't flown in the US in quite some time, so this is the first time. I cannot even recall when last I did fly between San Francisco and Seattle, or San Francisco and Los Angeles for that matter. And this was quite interesting setting up this flight, because I'm not used to the way it gets done in the US anymore. So this is going to be a nice learning curve for me to just come fly here a little bit again. Flavio, I never bought the BSS sound pack for the Flight Factor A320, but yes, I'm definitely going to fly between Flight Factor dollars and the JAR design when I do the Airbuses. And if my customers will actually start paying me regularly the way they should, because of the way they're paying me right now after Christmas is horrific, then I'll invest in that sound pack and get it for sure. Good evening, Felix. You most welcome, buddy. And Andile, here is your link. Flavio, I actually learned something. I want to mention this to you quickly, which I dearly want to go and try. Maybe I must do that in a stream tomorrow. Is fly the Flight Factor on the same flight I did the last time between Lisbon and Porto. One thing I did not know, and obviously I've mentioned this many times, I'm not really an Airbus pilot. And I just know from what I pick up in sim and on streams and so on. But apparently, during my last flight, I was trying to do an RNAV approach. Both the dollars and the JAR design did it flawlessly, but I couldn't get the Flight Factor to do it. It just refused. And the answer apparently is that you are supposed to click the approach button when you do an RNAV approach. We don't do that in the Boeings, and like I said, the other two Airbuses don't care, but apparently that's part of what the Flight Factor does. And I've been meaning to go and try the theory, and I've watched Black Box and these guys who are real Airbus pilots actually use it, so I want to go and try that, and I think that's maybe a good idea for a next stream. My pleasure. I really hope the ladies are looking after the passengers in the back here. It's so quiet. Hope they're getting enough food and drink. Okay, one of you won't happen to know the name of this mountain on the left, yeah, hey. Looks very nice. Just wish I knew what it was called. Flavio, let me answer the quick question first. Yes, I have the WSK Seattle scenery. I've got the airports and the city. Okay, so Flavio, the reason that I moved anti-aliasing out of X-Plane is I was really struggling with frames. My frames would go high 40s, almost 50, and sometimes in the 50s, but briefly, you know. So I was comfortably getting high 30s to high 40s most of the time, and then all of a sudden, and especially in the United Kingdom, any place in England or Ireland, I would get the most horrific frame rates. And then strangely enough, the northern part of Spain was killing me, where other portions of the earth like South Africa, the US, Portugal itself never gave me any issues, and I couldn't pinpoint the problem, and I just always wrote it off. It's a problem with X-Plane 1130. Then what happened was I started seeing a lot of other people complain, and you know, when a lot of other people complain and have the same issue, then you start thinking, oh, maybe I'm right, it is X-Plane. And then what happened was I did some streaming on Twitch and I just lost it. I just got fed up with the terrible frame rate. So I started playing and playing and playing, on, off this, on, off that. And eventually I found a video on YouTube, a short video, it was like 3 minutes I think, where somebody was explaining the settings, and I basically copied his, modified it a little bit so that it suited my system. And one of the things that he suggested was to let NVIDIA, the actual display card and drivers, do the anti-aliasing instead of X-Plane, because that gives you a FPS boost. So to make a long story short, I implemented everything that you can see in my OneDrive. If you read through the settings, you obviously have. I then discovered at the end of the day that the problem is created by my reshade plugin. And I removed reshade and I immediately gained 25, approximately 15 to 25 frames per second. So that was a big win for me. And then I discovered, but hey, these settings I've been toying with actually works. You know, it really gives me a very smooth experience, gives me nice stable frame rates. I mean, I don't know what it is right now, let me see. Yeah, I'm pushing 34 to 37 right now, somewhere there. And I like what happened, so I can highly recommend it. You know, it's one of those things. This is amazing. I don't think I've ever flown a star that is as long as this one. I know in New York when I fly between JFK and Boston, you literally start your star when your sit ends. There's no actual airways in between or a flight path, nothing. It's just from the sit onto the star. But damn, this thing is long. It's a huge one. Felix, yeah. I like FS Enhancer, and if I look at what Enrico is doing in the next version, all the preview shots and things that he's got on his Facebook page, it's really exciting me. I don't like the clouds, the default clouds, and some of the other sets I've seen. So I'm happy with this. You're welcome to try it. I mean, it's easy enough to just run the explain installer and override them when you don't want them anymore, change them to something else. So I can only recommend giving them a try. I took some nice screenshots a couple of minutes ago. I'm gonna look for some wallpapers for my PC there. Hey Josh, welcome to the stream. My friend, this is the Zibo. This thing is like next level, super awesome. And I can tell you one thing, if you want the closest thing to a real Boeing, you're not going to have to look far. The Zibo is awesome. You're going to love it. It's definitely worth downloading it. Just make sure that you have the correct version of Explain matched with the correct version of the Zibo, and that you follow the steps. If you start with Explain 11.30, then you need to start with version 3.32 full. That is the full package. That's what the word full means, full package. Comes with the Fmod sounds and everything, and then you must just add the fixes B, C and D in sequence, and then you'll be happy. Have a look around. Let me show you quickly. I've got some preset views set up, but have a look here. Let me show you some of the interior. Oops, then my finger messed around. Hold on. So the Zibo even has packs now, and they're much better than the previous version. And as you can see, the interior is actually very, very nice. This is an excellent aircraft. You will not go wrong with this one. Felix, yeah, I agree, but that's why we've got X camera, you know, and why we can zoom in and play with the mouse. Give me a second. Just want to take it off push to talk, then I can actually use both hands. That's easy enough to play around with X camera and get some nice views going. On the jaw design and dollars and flight factor, there are some of the stuff that can pop out, and I must say it brings a bit of a different look and feel to it. Let's hope. Let's see if Zibo brings that into the equation maybe a little later on. Felix, question. Do you have a Android tablet? I'm not sure if it will work on the Apple tablets, but Android I've got and it works very well. If you have one, you must get WebFMC, and then you can sit with the FMC on your lap, you know, walk around with it in the house if you want to. That really works very well with the Zibo. There you go, Andile, tell him. I know, I perfectly understand, but this is a awesome workaround. You're lucky, man. I've only got my one. My wife's got the Apple iPad, um, so I don't even go there. That's her story. I stick to my little Android 10.1. Yep, yep. It's gonna cost you some money to buy them their own ones one day. Or, well, like you say, you've got a couple lying around. Just, you know, wait until they're old enough and start sharing. Give them each their own, then they won't bother you. Guys, give me a second. I just want to go grab something to drink. It's kind of hot here and I'm getting thirsty. So before the action starts, let me go grab that and I'll be back in about 3 minutes approximately. Alright, I'm back.
Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha Airport Information Lima 1953 Zulu Weather Wind 344 at 7 Visibility 10 Sky condition few clouds at 100 Temperature 8 Dew point 3 Altimeter 3052 Advise on initial contact. You have information Lima
Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha Airport Information Mike 1953 Zulu Weather Wind 344 at 7 Visibility 10 Sky condition few clouds at 100 Temperature 8 Dew point 3 Altimeter 3052 Advise on initial contact that you have information Mike Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha.
That's interesting. That's probably not wanting to read the American system. Interesting. Better make a note of that one. Right, so we'll skip you. Right, I think just as we get closer to the airport, we'll just listen to the meter readout again and just get some update on the altimeter setting, because I think that will change in time. And that's a heavy number. Wow, it's high, very high. Hey John, I sent you a message on Messenger long time ago. Just can't remember if I just started the stream or just before. Yeah, look at this. A few clouds at 100 feet. Hmm. Yes, indeed. The poor Americans are getting left behind with the streaming only on a Saturday morning because they're all sleeping then. So we need to give them something too, eh? Okay. Well, we're on almost on top of descent, so we're going to land soon. There you go, 12:57 p.m. Yeah, Felix, you're right. I did notice the change. I've lost about 10-15 frames off my previous count, so hovering between 20 and 25 at this point in time. As long as it doesn't go below 20, I'm happy. Yeah, it's the VSK design stuff that's running here, the cities here and the airports. Run fast. Yeah, I meant you can run fast if you want to quickly go do something and come back, but I mean, top of descent's on us. In fact, we passed it, look.
Folks from the flight deck, we've started our descent. Should have you on the ground in about 15 minutes. Want to thank you so much for your company and business, and hope to see you again with us sometime very soon.
Yeah, that is JD, the official test pilot for the Zibo project that is talking. It's nice to hear his voice in the aircraft, and we were talking about it, him and me, the other day. He says it's kind of funny to think that thousands of people hear his voice in the Zibo every day, you know, and I kind of like it. It's nice to have a friend on board. Yep, it's very nice. If you guys want to watch his streams, he goes by the name of 737 Cloudy Box on Twitch. He doesn't save his videos on Twitch, so if you can find 737 Cloudy Box, that is JD, you can subscribe to his channel, follow him, get some notifications, see what he's up to. This morning he was actually doing a nice flight for us using the Max 8 that Zibo and the guys and himself are working on, and he's a nice guy, you know, go support him. You mean Wings 737? Max 8, yes. That's it. Felix, are you not a member of the Zibo community group that I moderate? Hey, Kappa. We have a 26 knot wind coming from the left, so the autopilot is constantly having to battle against the wind, so that's why it's keeping on swaying. This is Zibo version 3.32D for Delta, so this is the latest Zibo. I don't have the betas for the Max or the 737-700. That's not in my reach yet, so I can't show you guys that, but this is the latest Zibo that you can also download, and the link is in the description below the video. Okay, Felix, yeah, I made a post this morning about the test flight in the Max, so just go find it. I did put a little picture in there that I took off Cloudy Box's stream, you know, so to show the guys. And it looks nice. It's a very nice little aircraft. Man, look at these clouds. Wow.
Seattle Tacoma INTL information Alpha. 2000 Zulu weather. Wind 340 at 7. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 100 view. 25,000 broken. Temperature 82.3. Area QNH1034. Arriving runways 34 right, 34 center, 34 left. Departing runways 34 right, 34 center, 34 left. Advise on initial contact you have Alpha. Seattle Tacoma INTL information Alpha. 2000 Zulu weather. Wind 340 at 7. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 100 view. 25,000 broken.
Kilo Sierra Echo
2.3. Area QNH1034.
Sorry guys, it just came to me that somebody's talking in the background. I didn't realize that there was an ATIS frequency on COM2. Sorry, I have removed that. Yeah, John, I've worked through the motions. It wasn't that was causing the FPS drop. Definitely not, so I can recommend putting it back. Felix, I quickly discussed the possibility with Flavio on stream here earlier. We were talking about the flight factor A320, doing a stream with that one. So I'm going to try. I'm really going to try, but depends on the family. I have no time. First thing in the morning is probably we're probably going to be out for church until probably after 10 our local time. So it will probably be, I'm guessing, any time from 1100 Zulu onwards. No, no, John, not at all. Didn't have time today. In between the streams, I just got busy with the family, and we ended up watching a movie and so on. So, and then I came to stream quickly. No, mate, I told you I've got a very good wife, so should be okay. Kane, thank you for joining the family, my friend, and I hope you enjoy it here with us. I'm glad. I tried to help as many people as possible, and thanks for letting me know that it's worth it, eh? Yeah, you're still family. Doesn't matter how far distant you think you are, you're still family.
1,000 to go.
Well, don't worry. We take good care of our pets. We love our pets, so don't worry. Right, so this is where we are at, and I'm going to prepare to land now.
Flight attendants, prepare for landing, please.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Oh, yes. I'll watch out for Andre. I wonder where he's at, by the way.
$2,500.
Yeah, John, that raincoat means nothing to family. We know our family members. We know them very well.
$1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Approaching 3-4 right.
You won't know until you try, right? Man, but these frames are horrific. Okay, it's 23, 24. Not that bad.
400. 300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
80 knots.
Yeah, that was sweet. That was flippin' sweet. Very, very nice. Thank you guys and welcome to Seattle. So okay, to clean up, so we might retract our flaps. Thank you. John, Felix, Flavio, Andile, everybody, thank you for your support. Thank you very much. Alright, so weather radar off, terrain radar off, landing lights off. We can put on taxi lights, get the APU fired up, and go to steady strobes, nav only, that's fine. And those guys can come off. Let's taxi. I've given up on auto landing the Zibo, to be quite honest. I meant to ask the guys the other day when I was speaking to them, what is the magic sequence to actually land the Zibo on an auto land, because nothing I've done so far, and I haven't really tried that many times, but nothing I have tried has actually given me a successful auto land. It usually slams into the ground at 600-700 or sometimes 800 foot per minute. So I'll rather take it by hand and land it the way I was, taught to do it. So I'll have to figure that one out still. Then you need to teach me something, John, because it's terrible when I come into land, especially on a stream, and you hit 800 feet per minute into a runway and everybody thinks you don't know how to fly the aircraft. I'm obviously doing something wrong, guys. I don't mind admitting that. I just don't know what the magic numbers are and the correct sequence would be to actually get a proper auto land going. I'll have to go try it, but then I'll do it on my own, not on a stream. Don't like looking like an idiot on stream. Right, and the brakes are on. So let's do a replay before we do anything else. To be quite honest, Felix, the only reason I would want to do an auto land is just to see if it works and how it does it. I mean, I'm quite capable, like you can see, to land it and to fly by hand and all these things. So I agree with you. Alt plus R is the replay.
2500.
John. Okay, Felix, have a good evening, buddy, and thanks for joining me. It was nice having you here. John, no, I don't think you can save the replays. You can obviously make a video like what I'm doing now and then go watch a video, but you can't save a replay in Explain as far as I know. Flavio, if you are also saying goodbye, then thank you, my friend. See you next time. I'll do my best for you tomorrow to try get a flight factor flight in for you, eh?
2500.
This is awesome scenery, eh? And I don't mind the hit on the frame rate, so I can live with it. It's flyable. Really good scenery. Oh, Andile, then you know something that I don't know about, eh? Bye-bye, Flavio. Have a good evening. John, give me a second. I need to find my Discord. I can't see it on screen. Hey, John. There you go. Now we're on Discord and we live on air.
Okay, quick question. Before
Yes.
you shoot off, I know it's late for you. On descent, is it realistic the way the throttles go from idle to full power?
It is realistic. The logic is realistic. What isn't realistic is that you didn't get the
I
training.
always thought that they just thinned out.
Um, so sorry, I forget when you are on Discord, I need to press the button. So now you're going to hear two different stories. But yes, it is realistic. But what is not realistic is you didn't get the training how to handle it, because when it goes into the idle mode, all right, it means that it's your responsibility as the pilot to control it. So you can then increase or decrease and things like that. So the way that it works is it assumes you know more than you really do. So just live with it. It's something that you just don't worry about.
Yeah, but just don't worry about it. My thinking is, if the auto throttle's on, then it should be auto throttle.
No, that's not the way our Boeing works. It goes into different modes because it basically allows you to intervene as a human being. And I mean, it's been worked out that at some point in time you need to give a little bit more power. It keeps you awake, it keeps you alert, it gives you something to do. I mean, everything isn't 100% automated, so you have to give power sometimes and take away power sometimes.
So if, okay, I'll accept that. Just confirm though that it will not, I repeat, not turn the autopilot off if I start messing with the throttle.
No, it shouldn't. It will only switch the autopilot off if you give some control input. The throttle isn't a control input. If you change trim, John, if you change your trim, for instance, it's going to kick the autopilot off immediately. If you
it'll turn the auto throttle off. Yeah, I noticed that.
Oh, this looks amazing. I need to get some
That's what the
screenshots
I've
here.
learned. See, it pays to ask.
Yeah, that's fine. You can always.
What's the scenery?
Sorry?
What is the scenery?
This is the WS Design Seattle. I almost got it right.
Freebie or payware?
No, this is payware. I had to buy this. Screenshot time. Man, that was a good landing, even if I say so myself.
That was one nice landing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Very smooth.
Right, bro, I'm going to leave you.
John, you must have a good evening, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow then.
You will. Regards to your family.
Sorry, John, I couldn't make that out.
I said yes. Same to you and regards to the family.
Oh yes, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Andile. Give my regards to your girlfriend there. I think you said it was your girlfriend, right? So tell her thank you for allowing you to watch the stream. Well, guys, it's been an honor to be your captain again this evening. I hope you enjoyed the flight with me, and we can talk again tomorrow if everything works out well. I have a super evening, and hope you have a good rest when you sleep.